When you stop selling coaching and information, this is when strangers become buyers. Why does it feel like that coaching is getting harder than ever? But some coaches seem to scale and hit all of their revenue goals month after month. We all have that same feeling. We scroll through Instagram looking at our competitors and realize that there's one person dominating the market. They're an instant authority, and that positioning, their uniqueness, is how coaches dominate their niche. Even in a saturated market. It psyops strangers to pay 10 times more than the typical coach, while other coaches who coach struggle to sell. Coaching isn't what you want to sell. It makes you a commodity in your niche. But selling unique mechanisms. This is what I use to make over $800,000 in my online career. And it's what my current clients use who have tiny coaching accounts, 1,000 to 8,000 followers, but stand out and be a leader and make large profit, 10 to 40K. So you can position yourself as not just another coach, but a method that's premium, commands higher prices, and carves you as a category of one. Okay, so what is your unique mechanism? Let's start off with what a unique mechanism even means. When I moved back home with my parents in college in my beat up Honda Accord, I was waiting for my girlfriend to finish her semester so we could move to Austin, Texas. During the time, this is when TikTok came out. I took it as an opportunity to start my business because who doesn't want to make millions? But secretly, I really just didn't have any money to move and to live with my girlfriend, and I wanted her to not have to ever work. Fast forward through a lot of late nights and being thrown into the fire of business, I was left with a coffee addiction and a actual working legitimate business. I was charging companies like Paramount Plus, Entrepreneur Media, Rich Dad Poor Dad, even the Tate Man himself, $10,000 a month. My method of service, 20 done-for-you edited clips for Instagram and TikTok. Today, that feels like a complete ripoff. But at the time, TikTok and IG Reels were new. But this was my vehicle, my mode of transportation for helping out businesses and coaches go from no likes, no views, no cash to a lot of likes, a lot of followers, a lot of views, and a lot of cash. And that is what a mechanism is. And at the time, even mine was considered a unique mechanism. Today, not so much. This quickly became a commodity. More and more competition came in, lowering the prices, and then agencies started one-upping each other in offers. Today, for $10,000, you can get 1,000 clips a month. The agency of clipping content quickly became a Red Sea, with a few large sharks dominating. And this is exactly what's happening in the online coaching space. Coaching is a commodity. If Starbucks started selling a $27 coffee, Starbucks would go out of business. It's because coffee is a commodity, largely produced, easy to get. The same goes for coaching. Large amount of coaches, easy to get. And I noticed this a while ago when I took a break when I was in Japan for 3 months. I wasn't sticking to my posting schedule. When I came back, got back into the routine, post after post, I watched my views dwindle. It wasn't because my marketing got worse. It's because the social media platform became overwhelmed. It seems like every account now is DMing you as soon as you follow, asking, hey, why'd you follow? All in order for them to sell you something at the end of the day. But coaching has always been this lucrative space. That's why a ton of people try to do it. And there's still plenty of demand for help. That's never going to go away. The problem is the market's just flooded. What was once a land to help people transform is now a battleground for attention and sales. But yet there's still people who rise through the competition. And they do that by not coaching, because everybody's a coach, but by positioning themselves as completely different within their niche. People today don't want a $5,000 program with video modules and more information. They can go to ChatGPT to do that. They don't want coaching, what all the other 90 competitors are selling. If you tap into buyer psychology, what they really want is a newer, better, faster, and more guaranteed way of seeing success. And that is your unique mechanism, your signature intellectual property that's positioned to get them to their goals faster and better. Just imagine if you were in a gym and 100 coaches literally just walked up to you one after the other, telling you, I can help you get a six-pack. And they say the exact same protocol. Nothing is unique, and there's nothing that you want to invest in because you don't know who to believe, who to trust, who has the best system. But when somebody creates that unique pathway that's specifically designed for you, one that seems better than what everyone else is shouting, then that coach truly becomes one of one. Okay, let's get into the sauce. Your unique mechanism sets you apart and gives your prospects a reason to invest into you, more so than coaching will ever do. Dan Koe has his 2-hour writer method. Iman Ghazi, at the time, it was selling SMMA as a new way. Ali Abdaal, part-time YouTuber. This is why Apple has been winning for decades. On paper, Android and Apple help you reach the same goal. text your friends, take a picture of your food, and call grandma every so often. But the pathway, the user experience is different. The look, the feel, the UI, the connectivity. There's a million phones that run Android, but there's only one phone that runs iOS. So if you want that premium position that makes you different than all your competitors and not a commodity, but a better and faster and more guaranteed way, it's creating your unique method. Here's the thing though, your mechanism isn't just slapping together an offer and calling it a crazy name.
The 7-figure mindset method that will get you to 7 figures in 7 days
isn't gonna cut it. My method is built on what has worked for me, not somebody's offer that I decided to slap a name on. This was methodically built, trained, stress tested, proven that it works, in a synthesized version of the best things that I've learned. And mine, at the end of the day, is a new pathway that nobody can copy. So how do you craft yours out? To develop your pathway, it's comprised of a few key elements. The first is knowing who the exact person you're targeting is. If the person's fuzzy, the mechanism's fuzzy. The second is looking at your market and determining what everyone else is doing, and you just don't do that. Then the third, you discover what you believe is broken about your market. You take that time to figure out the broken part, develop a system around it. And then the more your new way seems better, the faster strangers become buyers. Okay, you have your unique method, but how do you sell it? Because the worst thing you can do is have a method, but still speak like a commodity. And today, as a coach, that is value content and teaching. The problem is most coaches start teaching the frameworks and action items of their method. But teaching your method is like a magician explaining the trick before he performs it. Once people know the mechanics, the magic dies. Nobody believes in it. And in order for somebody to invest, they need to believe that the pathway is going to get them to their goal. While most coaches try to teach and sell their vehicle, the best build the belief and sell the belief in their vehicle. So instead of teaching and giving away all your secret sauce, you're selling the belief first. And studies show when you change somebody's beliefs, they take action. When somebody believes it's going to rain tomorrow, they grab a raincoat without ever looking outside. And when somebody believes in your method, they pay a premium without hesitation. This is how you obliterate objections through content. And this is what I call a belief system, crafting your messaging around the offer. A method that people can follow and gets them to believe that it's newer, better, faster, and more guaranteed way of achieving their goals. And to do this, it's creating an argument like a lawyer. Your viewers are like the jury. They don't entirely believe that your client is not guilty. And the lawyer crafts the argument on why his client isn't guilty until the jury believes. So this belief system is exactly what I work on with all my clients. And by the way, if you want to work with me to craft your unique method that turns you from a commodity into a premium method that's worthy of strangers paying you thousands of dollars over the internet, then click that link in the top of the description where you can book a call directly with me. Everyone's coaching, but few are truly creating better pathways for their clients. And when your prospects see your unique mechanism, they don't write you off as just another coach. They tune in and trust you. So in my next video, I'll be diving much deeper into the belief system and how to craft yours. Peace.